Another thing I did for Muse, I kind of committed a petty crime for them. Probably shouldn't be admitting this on podcast, but I don't know. It's the apocalypse queens. So why not? I was living in San Diego. Maybe it's 2010. I don't remember. 2009, 2010. So I was living in San Diego, and Resistance was about to come out. There's a bus, a bench, where you sit to wait for the bus. There was a bench, and on the back of it, where like where you rest your back, it was a big ad for Muse Resistance album. And I saw it and I was like, I want it. I drove by it and I'm like, I want that whole ad. It's humongous. And I, would drive around and I didn't see it anywhere else. So I'm like, I really want it. So I thought, maybe if I call the ad company, like maybe they'll give it to me. But I'm like, I doubt it. I doubt they would just give it to me. They would probably charge me or something. So I asked a friend of mine who it's kind of a little adventurous too. So I was like, hey, would you like want to help me, get this ad out of this bench? And he's like, yeah, that sounds fun. So I kind of knew he would say yes. So we studied the bench, beforehand, just kind of like what tools we would need so we could come back later. And I made a little sign to replace it. It was so tiny. It was embarrassing. I wrote uprising lyrics on it. I said, we will be victorious. I put that on the sign. It's so tiny. Like, it was ridiculous how tiny it was. But we went at night to, get this ad out of the bench. But it was a horrible location because it was right at an intersection. It was like a 4-way intersection. So there's cars stopping there, like right by the bench all the time from 4 different directions. Like, oh my god, it was like, they're gonna see us, like, shoot. There was like several cop cars that were stopping at the intersection. I'm like, shoot, somebody tell them. Like, did somebody call the cops on us? I was like, no. So that, made me a little bit more nervous too. So when we went to the bench, there was an older man sitting there and he was like waiting for the bus, and I'm like, shoot, I thought nobody would be here because it was like later on at night. And I'm like, dang it. So I'm trying to distract him. I just like sit down next to him. And then the guy's like, so when do you think the bus is coming? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm just, I'm waiting too. And so I'm just like talking to the guy, distracting him while my friend is in the back, like unscrewing the thing so he can get the ad out of there. It's really long. And so I'm just distracting him, blah, blah, blah. And then my friend at one point, while I'm talking to the man, my friend's like, excuse me, sir, we're actually just trying to take this. And then he pulls the whole thing out and we just like start walking. But we have the backside facing the street so people don't see it's an ad because the other side is just white. So, if I just have that facing the street, if people see us walking, they'll just be like, oh, maybe it's just like an art project or some like, Home Depot materials from Home Depot or something like that. So we're just like walking, but it's so freaking long. I'm not good at estimating height, like length, so I'm not even gonna try to guess how long it was, but it was really long. So we're just like trying to make it to the car, and my car was not parked really close because parking there was horrible. So we had to like walk like a few blocks to get to my car, and I'm like, let's try to like walk as fast as we can so nobody sees us. We even had to at one point, like, when we were getting to my car, we had to like jump down, like we were high up somewhere, and then we had to jump down with this huge sign like into this little like alley to get to it. It was crazy. I guess because it was like a shortcut, because if we had to go another way, it was gonna be just way longer and more people would see us. So it's like, okay, this is the shortcut, let's jump into this like backyard area. And sorry, my throat's like so sorry. But yeah, we finally went to the car. We pushed it in. I had a hatchback. We pushed it in, but it was so long. I had like a 99 Toyota RAV4, and we put it in the hatchback, but it was so long that I had to have it over my head. I was holding it up with one hand and driving with another because that's how long the sign was. Like, it came over my head, like almost covering my eyes, but I had to put my hand up. So that's how long it was. But I got it. And I went home and I was like, yay, so proud. I was like, I have this huge Muse Resistance sign. And then, I left that little cheap we will be victorious sign on there, which is horrible replacement. But yeah, so I took a picture of it. I shared it on the Muse message board, and people were like, "Oh my god, that's awesome! I'll pay you $20 for it." I was like, "Excuse me, like, do you know the anxiety that I went through to like get this, and the time, and potential arrest? Like, that is way more. It is way. All of that is way much more worth much more than $20. Sorry, I can't talk, but." I was like, I'm not gonna give it to you for $20. And you know how much shipping would be for this humongous thing? No. Like, I went through it. I went through the work. I'm gonna keep it, okay? Unless I had multiple, maybe I would sell it. But definitely way more than $20. Like, are you kidding me? That's just an insulting offer. So, where is that sign now? I still have it. It's in storage. I have a lot of things in storage. I just recently moved here. I'm in Florida right now. I moved from California, and my place is really small. So, cross country trip, you can't really take that much stuff on a plane. I don't have a car anymore, so most of my stuff, including a lot of my Muse memorabilia, is in California in storage.